being a successful business owner, someone who has freedom in their life to do what they want when they want, that has more money coming in almost passively than they have going out, to be somewhere where 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 people will ever get isn't just given to you.
Raleigh so far in a nutshell. Ready, go.
Beautiful grandmas on motorcycles.
I think the prices are amazing, and I think I might live here for like $2,000 a month. But also, I need to work on my negotiation skills because I totally got taken advantage at Kudu Beach.
There's really big geckos that like to crawl on your walls, and really cool beaches and really pretty views.
Saw some statues, turned 18, did some cool flips, went surfing, went EFO boarding.
Snakes fall from the ceilings of our bedroom, and some intense cells beach bombarding.
For me so far, it's been minimal clothing. Tara's really enjoyed that. But they found my luggage, so guess that's going to have to come to an end. Sorry, babe.
Wow. Traffic is kind of crazy, and babies ride in the middle of their parents on scooters with no helmets or seatbelts or anything, just cruising along.
We are in Bali, and we've been here for like 10 days, and we're just leaving Uluwatu. So far, we've been in Jimbaran, then Uluwatu, and now we are on our way to Ubud. And I think we just got put through a funnel. Our second funnel, and I think we're on the way to our third funnel. Give you like a little show, which is kind of cool, showing you do the handmade stuff, and then they take you into their store, and you're like, oh, it's like, you want to buy this?
Then they hover around you.
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting to see the different kinds of sales and marketing, right, Britt?
It's been very interesting because it gives me flashbacks, because when I was younger, I'd do stuff like I'd sell Girl Scout cookies, or I used to go door to door and like sell cookies or sell like candy and stuff. And I'd always be the opposite of pushy. Like when I'd sell Girl Scout cookies, I wouldn't even say anything. Sometimes I would just sit there and like stare at people. And so it's so interesting because they'll literally like go to you and they will not leave you until you say yes. So gives you some, you know.
So what do you think? Do you think you should push a little harder, or do you think you should back off? What's the approach?
Well, here I think it's a little too much, especially after a while, but I feel like if people did it more, you definitely would get more yeses, because I know for sure I said no to things first and then I ended up saying yes, so.
Yeah. And that actually kind of leads into our lesson today. A few days ago, I got an email from James Metcalf Jr. We talked with James previously in episode 37, and James is a young, soon-to-be father who wants to be better prepared for his child that will be here very soon. So he's been a little stressed out, but he's been trying to figure out ways to make more money to be able to better provide for his family. So in the last episode, we talked about some different things that he can do, and we've gone back and forth. And collectively, we kind of came up with the idea based on his abilities and strengths and things that he's good at to start a mobile mechanic business. So a while ago, he reached out to me, and I gave him a challenge, and he came up with a reason why he couldn't do that challenge. And in my mind, I was like, okay, he's not going to do it. I just knew right away. And so recently, I wasn't surprised a few days ago when he reached out to me and said the business was struggling. And I pretty much knew right away what the situation was, but didn't want to assume. So I said, hey, let's hop on a call. And I wanted to get some more information. I was actually going to record an episode speaking to him and speaking to all of you at the same time. But I thought, let's hop on a call. Let's get a better idea of what's going on. And here's the thing. I was pretty direct with James, but in actuality, I really appreciate him being so vulnerable and willing to share his situation and let me just kind of be direct with him and upfront. Because I think a lot of you will be able to relate to some of the things we talked about. I think a lot of people struggle with the exact same things as James. In fact, we all struggle with it. I know I've struggled with it. So I was a little direct with James. You might think I was a little hard on him and we'll call it tough love, but I just tried to be as open and honest as I could and direct, because I know him or no one else is ever going to succeed in business or in the things that he wants to accomplish in life if you don't give him the straight up hard facts of what it takes. So I hope you enjoy this episode. I think you'll get a lot out of it. And without any further ado, I give you James Metcalf Jr.
Hello? James.
Yes.
Justin. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good.
At first, when you said my name, I was like, who is this? Your voice is a lot deeper. It kind of scared me.
Sorry. Didn't mean to scare you. So what's on your mind? Talk to me about what you're thinking, where you're at, what you've been doing.
Oh, as of lately, I haven't really been doing much. I just got this new job, but, it's requiring a lot of time away from home and all that stuff, and even though I wasn't supposed to, so they lied to me about that. So that's upsetting at this point. And I always thought with my business I'd be farther than what I am now. I mean, I know I haven't really been doing much and haven't been too long into it, but it just worries me because, I'm getting to the point where, the baby's almost here and like I feel like I haven't done a lot. And I'm scared because, the fact that it is almost here and I barely have anything in saving or anything like that. And money's not really flowing in from my business or from work. So it's like, I'm kind of like at a standstill. Like I don't know what to do. And it's kind of just driving me crazy in its own little way. And I don't know if it's like my business because of like the area I'm in, because there's not really a lot of people that turn to like people like me, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, there's not really a lot of people that would pay in order to get their car fixed, if that makes sense. Like if they had to, they just bring it into the dealership to where they got their car from. Or so, I mean, and I've always thought like of leaning towards the way of like freelance marketing because I've always wanted to do that. I don't know why. Maybe I'm weird for that, but I don't know. There's just a lot, and I feel like I'm not doing enough. To sum it up.
Okay, so let's kind of break down a few of those things. What do you do at your new job?
I basically go around and install a bunch of stuff at customers' houses. This is definitely not my dream job, I can tell you that.
Okay, and what are you getting paid for that?
It's a piece rate, so every job is its different rate, which definitely is, I mean, it's not much, and there's no set job amount. So some days I'll have like a couple jobs, and the rest some days I'll have like more, but there's never a set amount because, I mean, that's people basically paying you to come in and install like a TV. Like a lot of people don't do that. So I think for like a TV installation, it would be like just for that job in total for everything, it would be like not even $50.
So before you were getting paid $18 an hour. Are you making more than that now or less?
Well, I just started, but they make it sound good in the beginning, but now, actually getting into it. And I've had 1 week of training with some guy out in the field, and I only did 4 jobs in 12 hours, for a week. And that's basically how it is, like, the whole time. And he literally told me, he was like, this isn't a job you want to, support your family with. And that kind of blew my mind. So that really made me, want to push more into my business and figure out what I'm doing wrong, or, if there's something else I could do, like the freelance marketing.
Let's talk about freelance marketing. What would you do with the freelance marketing?
Like, what kind of marketing would I do?
Yeah, like people will pay you to do marketing, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't niched it down yet, but I could do anywhere from social media, or I can actually do banner marketing or email marketing, SMA, or I've even thought about going the copywriting route.
So you're saying you have these skills, or you would like to learn these skills?
I would like to learn those skills because I'm good. I'm good talking to people.
Yeah.
And I know basically the up and downs of all the all of the computer stuff. So I don't see why I couldn't do it. And
yeah. So why don't you do that then?
Because I have no idea who to look at to actually learn from that. Because like I told you before, any time you go for a course, it's like thousands upon thousands just to get a course. You have no idea if it's going to work or not. And
okay, is that true all the time?
I mean, for everything I found, I don't really know.
So right now, let me give you a little perspective here. Right now, you're talking to more than Millionaire, who has and does charge thousands of dollars to talk to people. And how much are you paying?
Nothing.
Okay. Currently, you sound like you have a kind of a victim mindset, right? I'm not saying overall you have a victim mindset, because I know you're taking action and doing things and you believe in things, but you got to get we got to get you out of the victim down in the dumps mindset, right? Because you won't. That's your number one thing right now. Okay. You can learn anything you want, and there's nothing holding you back, but your mindset and your mind, right? And you can learn it for free, right? There may come a time and place where you're doing well in your business and you're making money and you're like, oh, I want to invest into this course or this thing, but you don't have to do that. Like, I mean, there's so much free stuff online today that can teach you anything you need to know. We literally just hired a content writer, and we have several other content writers that we're going to hire, and we didn't know how to do SEO or hire content writers. We didn't pay anything for a course. We didn't pay anybody anything. We did some research. We figured out how to do it. We took action. I didn't even do it. I had my 17-year-old son and my 45-year-old brother-in-law, who not long ago was in prison and had a drug addiction. They went and hired this person, right? They did not pay anything to learn how to do that, okay? So while I am a big believer in investing in education when and how it makes sense, it doesn't make sense for you right now because you're trying to figure out how to pay your bills, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. So that's fine. But don't let that hold you back from learning what you want to learn. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you again, can you learn a skill if that's what you want to do? Can you learn a skill without spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a course?
Probably, yeah. I mean, you can take what you can from, simply, I guess, watching videos on YouTube. But I guess what I'm missing and what I think I need is like the guidance on it. But I feel like what you just said, like with the whole victim mindset, I feel like it's just me getting in my own spot.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I'm not saying this is. I want to be clear. This is not me saying that your main focus right now should be going out and learning a skill and starting a freelance business. Because you know what? You're going to hit the exact same obstacles you're hitting right now. Okay? Except it's going to take you longer to get there. Because you're going to go learn the skill, and then you're going to have to go try to get clients. And you're going to say the same thing. You're going to say, oh, this doesn't work because of blah, 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 blah. Right? Like, if that's what you want to do for the long term, cool. Look, you can try to figure out how to make that happen. But it sounds to me like right now you're trying to figure out how to pay the bills and be more prepared for your son that's going to be here soon, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to decide what you want. Like, you're kind of, once again, I hear it in your voice. It's like, oh, But you also told me, I was ready to get on and you tell me all the stuff that you've done in your business that didn't work and that hasn't been working, but you've done it. And you basically told me you haven't been doing a whole lot.
That's not really what I meant. I have, I went as far as making the business card. I haven't printed any out because...
Business cards don't mean anything.
Yeah.
You haven't even printed it out, though?
No.
Here's the thing. So many people spend so much time. This is what I was trying to tell you. I went through our email chain. I basically was trying to tell you, forget all that stuff. Reach out to 40 people a day. That's it. People spend so much time making business cards and working on their website and making everything look cute and pretty because it's fun having a dream. It's fun having a vision. But when it's time to take action and actually do it, that's where people, they kind of get afraid, right?
Yeah. The main thing that scares me with this is the fact that I tried to put in for my business license, and I haven't heard anything back from that yet, and I haven't got any email notification saying that I even completed, so I had to do all that again. And my LLC and everything like that, I'm trying, but I haven't been able to fork up the money to actually buy the LLC yet.
Why are you worried about an LLC?
Because that's what I thought I needed. Because I don't want to be doing a job and then someone ask about all that and not want to go through with it because I don't have an actual business, if that makes sense. You are your business. It's called a sole proprietorship. You are the business of James or whatever you call your business. People get too caught. Think about it. If a kid's selling lemonade
and he doesn't have an LLC, does anybody care?
Hmm.
No, right? An LLC, sure, is an additional. And look, I'm not an accountant. I'm not an attorney. I'm just sharing. I've bought and sold tons of things without having a business. We didn't even officially have Millionaire University until like recently. But it didn't keep us from doing things, from taking action, from going, right?
Yeah.
You're adding all these things like that don't need to be things. You worried about getting sued?
Kind of. I'm not worried about my work or anything.
If you get sued? What happens if you get sued?
You got to go to court.
I mean,
right?
Not usually. Very rarely do people ever go to court. But when someone sues someone, what do they try to take from them?
Money.
How much money do you have for someone to take?
Not a lot.
Yeah, so what are you worried about, man?
Fair enough.
I tell you what, many years ago, I was in this similar space that you're in right now, where I was so concerned about what I was going to lose. And I started getting into all this asset protection and wanted to make sure that my name wasn't anywhere, and no one knew who I was, no one could find me. And not too long after that, we weren't sure how to pay our bills, and we were struggling, and we weren't making any money. So I was so worried about what I was going to lose that I wasn't making anything, right? Like, people get so hung up on what they're going to lose, but what about what you're not doing to get what you don't have, right? Like, you got to stop worrying about designing business cards and websites and your LLC and all this stuff, and you just got to get out there and reach out to people. Like, how many people have you reached out to this week to see if they'd be interested in your service? And so why are you telling me that you don't think people in your area might not be interested in your service if you haven't reached out to anyone?
Yeah, I guess it's just the mindset.
100% mindset. People have cars. People have cars that need to be fixed. There are mechanic places. Of course people would want a mobile mechanic. But here's the thing. You've heard me talk about yeah-betters. Have you heard me talk about that?
No.
There are two kinds of people. There are people who will find an excuse why things don't work, and then there are people who figure out or find ways to make them work or how things do work. There are people that if there are a ton of mobile mechanics, would say, oh, there's too many mobile mechanics, it's too competitive. And then the same person is going to say, oh, maybe this doesn't work in my area. There aren't any mobile mechanics in my area. It's all BS, man. Like, you go out there and freaking make it work, right? You said you've gotten 2 clients. Like, how did you get those clients?
I mean, the only clients I've had so far is family.
Okay, but how did you get them?
Through either word or Facebook, because I've been sharing. I've been having people and family and friends have been sharing my posts, and saying me actually showing that I did the job, and just me saying that I had my business in general. They've been sharing it, and then just.
How many people have you called or texted directly to let them know what you're doing and ask them if they would be interested in your service?
When I know I'm going back to the business card again, I'm sorry, but when I first made the business card, I actually sent it to 100 people on my Facebook, and I don't think I had any responses from that. But I guess I wasn't actually asking if they needed.
No, man, you got to go straight to it. You got to go straight to it. Over time, different kinds of content marketing and stuff like that can start to work, but you just need to reach out to literally 50 to 100 people a day. And that's assuming that you still have your job. And if I were you, it doesn't sound like your other job's going so great. I would just walk away from that, and I would reach out to a couple hundred people a day. I would also add, do you know how to clean a car?
Yeah.
I would add that too. It's good to focus on something, but man, you say you want to make money, go make money, man. When I was your age, I was going to college, playing football, and I was trying to get a job for $8 an hour, which today is probably the $18 an hour job that you had, right? And I couldn't get one. There's not enough jobs, too many kids, college kids, and I couldn't find anything. So I had this guy reach out to me that I knew from previously, who's like, hey, I manage a sales team. You should come work with me. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And I was trying to find an $8 an hour job. And finally, out of desperation, I went and started selling, satellite dish, which isn't really that popular anymore, but back in the day it was. And that first Saturday, like, I saw this guy, I went around with him, and it took a while, but within an hour, he got a sell. I'm like, oh, he just made $100 or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go try this on my own. It took me a couple hours, but I got one sell. I made $50 an hour. So from then on out, I started doing sales. I'd go to trade shows and send people to timeshare presentations. Instead of making $8 an hour, I started making $50 to $100 an hour. But I had to be willing to put myself out there. I had to be willing to talk to people. I had to be willing to open my mouth. I had to be willing to ask. And it's a numbers game. The more people I asked, the more money I made. If I went and stood at a trade show and didn't try to get people to go to the timeshare presentation, I could have stood there and not asked anyone or talked to anyone. Do you think I would have had anyone go? No. I could have sold satellite dish and walked around and stayed in the car and not gotten out. Every single time I knocked on that first door, it was brutal. But after knocking on that first door, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
You're doing the easy part. You wrote a little business plan. You kind of made some cards. You put some stuff on Facebook. You haven't really done anything that's going to get you business, especially at the beginning. You've got to be willing to dig in and use brute force. It's similar to, once again, our satellite dish business that we started. It's okay, I'm making money selling for other people. Now I'm going to start my own satellite dish business so I can make a little more money. But then I got it over my head. I had an office and partners and was doing all the cutesy stuff, trying to build this thing out, but I kept my eye off the ball, which was sales. I hired people to sell for me, to hire people to sell, but they didn't get a job done. I kept my eye off the ball. I was trying to make the business perfect and all these structure things, and we ended up with $120,000 of debt. So went and moved in with a bunch of people, had a 6-month-old son. Wasn't the best situation, but did what we had to do. And every day I woke up early, worked on administration stuff in the business, and then just went out and busted my butt selling for 10, 12 hours a day in the heat because I knew that's what I had to do. So to me, I hear you saying that you're scared and you want to make things work, but you're not doing what it takes, honestly.
Okay.
I'm just hearing two different things. You don't have to start a business. That's totally cool. If you don't, there's a couple different things I'd recommend. I'd recommend either getting a sales job because you can make more in sales. Sales isn't fun. It's hard, man. But you'll make more money if you're willing to reach out to people and ask people, right? And you can take the rejection. Or, and this sounds crazy because if I'm Millionaire University teaching people not to go to college, I'd go get an education, man, because you don't want to keep working for minimum type wage your whole life, right? That's not a great way to take care of a family, So right. These are my thoughts. I mean, it depends on what you're willing to do. Are you willing to go out tomorrow or today, I should say? It's morning for me. It's night for you. So tomorrow.
It's nighttime right now.
Are you willing to start making a list, when we get off this call, and then tomorrow start reaching out to every single person you know? Is that something you think you would do, or is that something you wouldn't do?
No, I can do that. I think it was just the initial, when I first started, I got, just the initial rejection. I had plenty of people asking me about, what, how much I charge and stuff. And I gave them prices that were, a lot lower than what you think, what I would go for, originally, which is already not good, I know. But, and then I still didn't get a response back. And I think the lack of response from my questions kind of just put me off. But
yeah, man, see, that's life. I know you're young. I'm telling you right freaking now, that is life. That is going to happen to you time and time and time again. And if you give up, okay, go work for someone else, man. Because you know what? That person who owns that business, they went through the crap. They went through the stuff that haven't wanted to go through so far. Take a big piece of paper. And every time you want to quit, put a big red X on it. And when you get to 1,000 times of wanting to quit, but then you will probably get traction.
Okay.
But if you quit when you want to quit, you're never going to get anywhere. I think I've heard you say it. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah.
Being a successful business owner, someone who has freedom in their life to do what they want when they want, that has more money coming in almost passively than they have going out, to get to that point, to be somewhere where 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 people ever get, isn't just given to you. You've got to be willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do for a longer time than other people are willing to do it.
Right.
You've been giving up way too soon, man. So I'm not saying you need to do the mobile business. That's up to you, what you want to do. Have you considered doing sales for someone else until you get the comfort with just putting yourself out there?
I would like to. That's what I originally started looking for, was a sales job, because I wanted to get the experience in sales, because I think that would just help me, mentally anyways. But I chose the mobile mechanic because I think it is a good idea. I mean, there isn't really, I can't really name one actually that is around here.
Yeah,
and
dude,
that's something I'm comfortable with, and I really know how to do it, and I'm good at it, And...
Yep. So here's the thing. You're going to have to put some blood, sweat, and tears. It's not even really blood, sweat, and tears. We say that. But it's really a mental mindset. Our brains from back in the day, if someone's afraid of getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Our brains are programmed to, we get into this zone, we go into this limbic phase in our brain where we're afraid of certain things. And we also wanted to be included by the tribe, right? So we don't like rejection. It's hard on us. And the truth is, it's just a mindset thing, because nothing bad is really happening to you, right? You're not really going to get excluded from the tribe or kicked out or eaten by an animal. But that's the same feeling that we get. It's fight or flight, right? So you got to choose if you're going to fight and keep going, or if you're going to flight, right? So your goal should be to get no's, honestly. I want you to go out and get 300 no's this week. Don't focus on the yeses, because then you're going to be disappointed, right? And if you just focus on getting no's, if you get used to rejection and still keep going, then you'll succeed. And business is exponential. So the beginning is the hardest part. That's why it's a barrier to entry, right? You have the dreams, you have all the things you want in life. You've got this big fat barrier to entry, this gatekeeper saying, "Oh no. Only few shall pass by this gate." And you'll have this carnage out there in front of the gate because people can't hack it. So that's the hardest part. Once you get through that gate, it's not easy, but it gets easier. And it becomes exponential, because now you have clients. You have people coming to you. You now have a little bit of money. You can do some marketing, right? But you got to be willing to pay the price. Can't give up so easily. So what do you think? You up for it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that just helps. I think I got it. I can't really think. I know I can do it. So
go through. Look, I sent you an email, I don't know how long ago that email was, but I even told Tara, I was like, "Oh, he's not going to do it." I already knew you weren't going to do it, because I gave you a challenge and you didn't take it. I literally said, "I will give you $500 this week if you just put yourself out there. Go for it." You're like, "Oh, I got to get this." I'm like, "Okay." I don't even think I responded. Or maybe I did respond, but it was like, "Okay, he's not going to do it," which is fine. You just weren't ready. So I guess we'll see if you're ready now. So what's your goal going to be? What's your goal going to be for tomorrow? How many people are you going to reach out to tomorrow?
As many as I can write down.
SMART goals are, right? SMART goals, it's specific, measurable, attainable. I forget what the R is, but time bound, right? So to have a goal, you need to know when you're going to do what you're going to do, and exactly what is that going to look like, right? So for example, your goal for tomorrow should be how many people are you going to reach out to? Not however many I can. You're not going to, it's not going to get you anywhere. I want to hear a commitment from you, not just to me, but to yourself. How many people is James Metcalf Jr. going to reach out to tomorrow to let them know about his business? Not let them know, but very specifically ask them if they would be interested in, and you know, do whatever you got to do. If people understand a little about you and your why, they're a lot more apt to do it. Honestly, I thought you'd reached out to like hundreds of people. This is a thought I had. I would almost reach out to people and say, and it depends on your relationship with them. If you know them, I'd say, hey, this is James. I'm starting a new either car detailing business or auto mechanic, whatever business you want to focus on, right?
Yeah.
But let's say you did car detailing. You could say, I'm starting this new business. I'm looking to grow and get more clients. I have a baby on the way and I really want to change some situations. If you're able to support me in this, that would be great. Here's what I'm willing to do. I'm happy to come out and wash your car, any vehicles you have. This week, I'm actually putting myself out. I'm quitting my job. I'm just going to go for this. You know what I mean? You want to be in the middle of not too desperate or like putting it on them, but also letting them know like, hey, I'm doing this and I'd love your support.
That makes sense.
So you could say what I'm actually doing is I'm offering free car washings so I can get like testimonials and build up some clientele. I would love it if you'd let me come out and wash your car. Or you could say something like, or you can decide like what you want to pay me. Because here's the truth, like people are going to pay you.
Yeah.
No one that you really know, like, or very rarely is going to actually let you wash the car for free. Maybe some guy off the street might, but you don't know, right? But you could even do that, dude. You could like literally, you could find a location, you could put up car wash signs, and then you could take donations. Anyway, I'm just brainstorming. Like you just got to start doing stuff. So, well, yeah, I would reach out to all the people you know, and you can do the mechanic option if you want, but I'm saying a lower barrier to entry because I need to get my car fixed maybe a couple times a year. I'm going to get my car washed like every week. And then over time, yeah, you get more solid prices because then you're going to extend out beyond friends and family, right?
Yeah.
But have you heard of 6 degrees of separation?
You talked about it. You said that before, right?
Yeah. Within 6 connections, like if there's anyone in the world that you want to meet, if you go through 6 different people, like someone that you know and then someone that they know, someone that they know, and you would know every single person in the world. You could connect with anyone in the world, right? So think about that when you're thinking about your business. Because sometimes you're like, oh, I'm going to run out of people. No, you won't. Because there's billions of people in the world, first of all. But you won't even run out, even if you never do a single piece of actual like digital paid marketing. You will never run out of people to talk to. Because for every one person that you know, that person knows 10, 20, 50 people. And then every one of those people know the same amount, right? The expansion will just keep going. So make a list. Like I'll make this list right when we get off the phone. Every single person you know, go through your phone, go through your Facebook friends, go through just anything that's on your mind. Think through family. Think of anyone that's local, right?
Right.
And I'd reach out to all of them and offer them your services essentially. And think less, do more, right? Maybe the first thing that you text to someone is different than the next person, but like you just do it. Just send it. Don't overthink it. Just last week, Tyson was supposed to reach out to get sponsors, and he was overthinking it. He was trying to come up with this perfect media kit. I said, just reach out to people. I said, tomorrow you need to reach out to 20 people or you're fired. Yeah. And he still hesitated, and I called him and talked to him in the morning, talked him through it, and he reached out to 50 people that day, right? And now we're getting like a lot of interest. But he couldn't see it. He couldn't believe it until he just did it. So the truth is, I'm telling you stuff to say. I don't care what the heck you say. You just need to reach out. Like I call them touches. You need to reach out to, like, how many people do you think you can reach out to tomorrow? Via text or call them or whatever.
I could definitely do 50.
Okay. So you reach out to at least 50 people directly tomorrow, addressing them by name, letting them know the situation. Just speak from your heart, man. But, don't be like, desperate, but just at the same time, like, let people know, hey, this is something like I'm going to start doing. I'm really passionate about it. Like I really want to make a change for my family, but also like I'm qualified to do this. It's something I'm qualified to do. And I'm just really excited and hope you'll be able to support me in this. If not, totally understand. If you have anyone you could refer to me, I'd greatly appreciate it. But if not, I just appreciate you and you taking, you know what I mean? You don't want to like make people feel like bad or anything, but you also want to be direct in what you're looking for.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, reach out to 50 people tomorrow. So send me an email and let me know that you did it. And then let me know what the response was. And we'll go from there.
I will.
Action leads to information. We don't really know what to do after tomorrow until you take those steps. Because I was going to say then reach 50 to 100 people the next day and the next day and the next day, but you might get some responses. You might get some interest. Right. You might realize that you need to reach out to 50 people to get one person interested. Is that worth it?
It could be, because then that one person could lead to many more.
Absolutely. And let's say you're washing cars. How many times does that one person need to get the car washed? It could lead to repeat people. You might find that you only need to reach out to 20 people. So you might get 2 customers tomorrow. You might get 3. You might get 4. You might get 5. We don't know that. So if you get a bunch of customers, and that means, hey, go do the work. And then ask for referrals, and then you reach out to more people when you need more people, right?
Right.
But if you only get like one person, that's fine. Then go do that job, reach out to another 50 people. And then pretty soon you'll start to see a snowball effect over time. So start there. Send me an email. Let me know after you did it, and let me know what the results were. And we'll take it from there.
All right.
Sound like a plan? Yes, hey, you're the man, James.
Okay.
All right.
Too.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks.
Let's give it up for James Metcalf Jr. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that call as much as I did. James is a stud. James, we really appreciate you coming on again and being so vulnerable. It takes guts to come on, and I can get pretty direct sometimes. So once again, we appreciate you coming on and being willing to be coached in front of thousands of people. A lot of times you hear us here at Millionaire University talking about taking action, but we don't just say take action. We say take effective action where it counts. And we say take fast, effective action. And what we mean by that is not just doing things, not just making business cards or making websites or decorating your office or writing a business plan. Like all of that stuff is just like stuff. Some of it can be good or important at the right time. But the truth is, taking effective action means really reaching out to people, really getting out of your comfort zone. Going for the sell. I want you to imagine a target, and you need to hit that center target. What most people do is, first of all, they don't even hit the rings just outside of that very center target. They totally miss the mark completely. They're not even hitting the dartboard. They're not even hitting the target at all. But a lot of times what people are doing is they're kind of hitting the outside center. But the truth is, if you want to succeed in business and in life, you've got to hit that target. You've got to do the things that really matter. You've got to reach out to the people that you've got to reach out to. And then over time, like we talked about, business is exponential, and there will be other opportunities that you'll have. All right, we just made it through our second funnel unscathed. It's pretty cool wood carvings. So here's the thing, James, like so many other people, had a vision. He had a goal. He has a vision. He has a goal. He has these dreams. And that's the first step, right? He knows what's possible. He wants to do these things. And he came up with his business idea. And that's another step most people never get to. They think you have to have this big, huge, crazy business idea, and you don't. In fact, people who think that usually never do anything or take action or think they can do anything. And if they do, the chances of succeeding are a lot less. So James came up with idea, very doable idea, very realistic idea, something that works for him, but he was allowing so many things to get in his way. But the truth is, it's just because he didn't want to do the hard things that our brain does not want to do. Our brain does not like rejection. Our brain doesn't like to ask people questions, to ask people if they'll buy our services. We don't want to possibly get a no. If there's a chance of us getting a no, that's a word we do not want to hear. Then a lot of times we won't go for it. But the truth is, all James really needs is a handful of customers, a handful of clients, repeat customers, people that need their car washed or their car worked on a consistent basis. And he's golden. He can have a solid business, and then from there he can grow. He can do marketing. He'll have revenue coming in. He can hire people to help him. Then he can really grow and scale. But you've got to be willing to take that initial first action. You've got to get through that part. You've got to get through the trough of sorrow, as they call it. Because what happens is people have a dream, and you can hold on to that dream until you take action. Once once you take action, it becomes a reality. And then it feels like, oh, it didn't work. People didn't want to do it. People weren't interested. Start to get into your head. And then you come up with different excuses like, oh, this doesn't work in my area. Because of course, we can't take accountability 100%. Because if we do that, we have to tell ourselves that we're afraid or scared, and no one wants to admit to that, right? So we come up with these reasons like, oh, this business doesn't work in my area. Oh, I need to get an LLC. My job, it's my job's fault, right? Like all kinds of things. I've heard it all time and time again. So just remember, take fast, effective action where it counts. That's why we say fail forward fast. Focus on getting people to say no. At the beginning is the hardest. The first cut is the deepest. You've got to be willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do, to have things in a life that other people don't have. So think of the thing that you're most afraid of, and that's probably the thing that you need to be doing. So set a goal of what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, exactly what it's going to look like, how many of what you're going to do, and make it happen. I know a lot of times we talk about taking fast, effective action, and that's great to hear, but I hope that hearing James today, hearing his exact situation, helps you see that a little more. Helps you see where you might not be taking that fast, effective action. And the truth is, we talk about these things being hard, and they're really not that hard. Just in our brain, we think they're hard. But once you do it, once you knock that first door, once you make that first call, you send that first text, from there on out, it gets easier and easier. It gets better and better. And then over time, you have better systems. You come up with your KPIs. You know that for every 100 people you reach out to, you're going to get 5 people to say yes. Or you're going to get 10 people to say maybe, and then 5 people to say yes. And then over time, you can hire other people to help you do these things. So it starts out, the beginning's the hardest, then it gets better over time. You just got to take those first steps. And once again, it's not easy because it's hard. In our mind, it's hard. In our mind, we don't like that rejection. But if you focus on getting the no's, if your goal is to get the no's, then over time, you'll find more success and you'll figure out how to get more yeses for every time you ask. You'll continue to improve your process, improve the things you say, improve the way you go about it. And that's how you start, grow, and scale a business that will change your life forever. So my question to you is it worth it? The question that you ask yourself is it worth it? There's no shame in going and working for someone else who was willing to do that. They went through these steps. Like, you don't have to do it. There's no shame in getting a college degree. Like, maybe you already have one. There's no shame in just trying to continue to improve your situation financially by not starting your own business. But if you want to start your own business, you have to be willing to go through this part of the process. It's the only way. And it looks different for everyone. Some people might go about it in, kind of like the funnels that we just went through. It might be a little more passive. They may not go direct for the sell. They may not just reach out to people and ask them, but that takes longer. And that's kind of some of the things that James was kind of talking about. I hear so many people talk about they want to be a content creator and they want to do a YouTube channel and they want to do all these things. And that's great. You can absolutely make money doing those things, but those things take way longer. They're way harder. It takes a lot more time. You can have great results over time if you're willing, able, and have the ability to put in literally years. You can do it on the side, or if you have a bunch of money in savings and you're able to do that, great. But someone like in James' situation says, I need to make money today. I need to make money tomorrow. I will do whatever it takes. You kind of got to go straight for it. You want to go to like a service business. You might want to go do sales for someone else. You might want to work for someone else. But if you have time to learn a skill on the side and you want to do that, that's great too. But maybe you keep your job, learn a skill on the side, start doing that over time, and then you can grow into that thing. So, all right, guys, hope that makes sense. Get out there, take action, make some goals, make it clear, be specific, set a time when you're going to do it, commit to that, find an accountability partner if you need to, and go out and do the things that it takes to change your life. You guys can do it. James, you can do it. I believe in you. I have no doubt you'll make it happen, but you got to make it happen. It's going to get harder before it's going to get easier, but it's the consistency, just day in and day out. In some ways, I almost don't even like it when people get too hyped up because you just got to wake up and you got to do it. You just got to put in the work. You got to make it happen. It's not easy, but it's totally worth it. All right, this is Justin Williams, your chief. Just do it. Take action. Make it happen. Take effective action where it counts. Officer signing off. We are almost to our Airbnb in Abood. We're going to go explore some monkey temples and rice fields and all kinds of cool stuff. It's way different out here, huh? Not nearly as much pollution. What do you tell Brilliant's busting out? Sing it, Brilliant, sing it.
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I was saying it's way more open out here. The other places we've been to have been a lot more touristy, a lot more traffic. They've been beautiful and amazing, but just so much traffic and cars and lots of smoke and pollution. So it's beautiful out here. So we're going to go make it happen. You guys are awesome. Take action. Reach out if you need anything. Justin at millionaireuniversity.com. We'll talk to you next time on the Millionaire University podcast.
Adios.
Class dismissed.
Class dismissed.